Hi, I'm Stacy. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Canix. We're a cannabis ERP that serves cultivators, manufacturers, and distributors across 28 states and 6 countries. Today, I'm going to show you at a high level how our system works. Canix is very multi-featured. We're a pretty robust system, but overall, Canix is used to calculate and optimize profit per gram. And to do that, we do inventory management of both cannabis and non-cannabis items, compliance, cost accounting, task management, the works. Operators use our system to streamline operations, maintain compliance, and increase sales. If you'd like to see some stories of how operators have done that, you can check out our website here and go to user stories where you can see case studies of how operators have saved money and streamlined operations when switching from systems like BioTrack, Distru, Fishbowl, etc. So you can see the case studies that we have on here. Highly recommend checking them out. And one more thing about our company before I jump into our UI. We take user feedback really seriously, and our company is actually mostly engineers and product people. So we release in public. Here, I'm showing the Canix changelog where you can see everything that we do that's a customer-facing enhancement or upgrade to our product. And you can just see how much we've done just in the last week alone. We're really committed to providing the best experience for our customers. We take user satisfaction very, very seriously, and we have the capabilities to be able to react very quickly to our users and what they are looking for. So one thing to note is like when you do become a Canix customer, you have a voice at our company, and we take what you say very seriously. Every single one of these feature updates has come from a customer request. Okay. Well, let's jump into the platform. So Canix is used as one source of truth at many different operations. And a big thing that we need to maintain one source of truth is integrations with many different systems. So Canix is integrated with BioTrack, which is the compliance system of New York, Florida, Illinois, New Mexico, and Connecticut. Confident Cannabis, GrowLink, LeafLink, LeafTrade, Metric, a very popular compliance system used across, I believe, 16 states, OnFleet, QuickBooks Online, QuickBooks Desktop, and Sage Intacct. Additionally, we have integrations with Apex Trading, Green Check Verified, and Dutchie. There's more coming as well, but if there's anything that we don't cover, we also have an open API that you can access here, which some customers have used to build custom integrations with Canix. What this lets you do is pull the information that you have in Canix out of it, and for certain endpoints and objects, actually create objects, sales orders, purchase orders, items in the Canix system as well. So we try to be very flexible in how we work, so you're able to work with many different systems and have all of your data match and sync up, because that's a very important part of cannabis. In terms of the Canix setup, you're able to set up as many facilities as you want to one Canix company account, and you can connect different facilities that have different compliance backgrounds to the same account. We have some customers that have as many as 150 licenses on the same account. Why that's important, Canix will normalize and standardize the data across these different compliance systems for you. So you're able to see your data on both a company-wide basis as well as a state or facility-wide basis. So whether it's Metric Massachusetts or BioTrack Illinois or BioTrack Florida, BioTrack New York, Metric California, Arizona standalone, no matter what it is, you will be able to put all of those facilities, all those states under one Canix account here, and we will standardize your data so it's all rolled up in your reporting. You can see your sales orders, your purchase orders, everything across your entire company, as well as drill down by each state or facility. Great. A couple more things on the Canix setup. So Canix, you can have unlimited users in Canix, and most of our customers have many, many different users, everyone from the CEO to someone who might be working in the grow room on Canix. The big thing about users is that those users are all going to need different permission groups and different levels of access. So in Canix here, you're able to set different permission groups for every single action that we take in the product to either edit, view, or no access. And so you can see how extensive this is. This encompasses every single kind of object that we have in the platform. And this you can apply uniquely to every user. You can create different permission groups and assign, like, for example, a group of compliance managers that should have a certain group of permissions versus the finance team versus the sales team. So in addition to the action permissions, we also have what's called approval permissions. So this is really cool because what this basically does is put people on a permission group where they can submit the particular action, but that action must be approved by someone else with can approve permissions. Why is this so important? It is because state systems are immutable. So if you're in a state with metric or BioTrack, after a certain period of time, you are not able to change your submission in metric or BioTrack. After some types of submissions, it's an instant immutability, so there's no going back. And when you're first getting started in these states, you probably want the ability to practice a little bit and have some security that what you're submitting isn't just going to go into an auditor's hands without you checking it over. And you also might have employees that are really great on the field, but not so great with computers. So a lot of our customers use this to have those kinds of employees on requires approval, and then they'll have a compliance manager or an admin manager on can approve. So all those submissions will need to be approved before going into the state compliance system, saving you costly mistakes and time. And you can put yourself, as you can see, on both of these permissions. So if you're getting started with Canix for the first time and you're like, I don't know what I'm doing and I'm nervous about messing things up, don't worry about it. You can just put yourself on both these permissions, and that way you have a chance to check everything over before it goes anywhere. Everything that you do in Canix we track, so you're able to see very clearly what you've done in the audit record of what's been happening in your facility. Here you can see all the submissions that are on pending approval. You can see what the submission summary is. You can deny or approve this submission. And we also have the ability to track everything that's been submitted in general. Going into facility data for Canix. So the thing that you need to know about Canix is that we will submit to the compliance system on your behalf. So if you're in a BioTrack state, like let's say you're in BioTrack New York, we will do all your submissions to BioTrack New York for you. You should never need to touch BioTrack New York if you use Canix. Same goes for metric. There are very few exceptions in metric states for actions that are simply not open to Canix, like no one can access them, but BioTrack is actually fully open. You should never need to touch the BioTrack system. So we do everything for compliance in the background for you, but we also have the ability for you to add additional information that we do not send to the state compliance system. So you can add that, and that is just for your business yourself. We don't send extra information to the state compliance system if they don't need it. So for example, I'm creating items. Everything with a star is a compliance required field, and everything with this optional is something that is a Canix only field. That's just, you don't have to do it, but the reason that we have it is because it'll make your inventory more organized. So for example, we have this ability to designate cases. Let's say you only sell jars in cases of 100. You can designate cases in here, and that will help you. We'll have that across all of your reporting, so you can see your sales in terms of cases, your inventory in terms of cases, all of your reporting in terms of cases, and it'll just align your inventory more to how your business actually runs. That's the objective of Canix. We want to align to how you actually run your business. Here too, we have subtypes, so you're able to define the business types of categories that are relevant to you, whether the state will assign you different item types that you're not able to change, but most operators don't find these very useful. You might want to track across something like A's, B's, C's, bigs, smalls, concentrates, edibles, resins, whatever distillates, whatever your own business relevant metrics are, you define them here in your subtypes. And then again, all of our reporting is aggregated across the subtypes that you've defined. Same thing with brands. You define these. Canix aligns to these brand reportings. Accounting inventory type, you can use this to track your inventory across different accounting stages. And then costing, you can actually add in here different bills of materials so that when you create an item of this type, we'll deduct and add costs according to your bill of materials. But we'll get into that in a little bit. Great. So that's the items section. And so you define different types of items in Canix. Your locations, items, sales price list, strains, vendors, and custom phases. We have more in-depth videos on our facility data setup, but the main thing that you need to know is that there's many different categorizations, and everything is submitted to compliance in the background, but nothing more than what the state needs to see. One thing also to mention our integrations, you see this metric refresh button here. All of our integrations are a two-way sync. So you both push information to metric BioTrack and also pull information from metric or BioTrack. So there should be a perfect match between metric, BioTrack, and Canix at all times. Okay, let's get into the Canix UI. So like I mentioned, you can have multiple facilities in here, and no matter what kind of compliance back end it is, we'll put it all in here, and you can roll up all of your reporting by multiple facilities in here. I'm going to switch to our standalone account so you can see how this works in here. We're starting on the plant batches tab right now. If you're a manufacturer or distributor, you won't see the plants and harvest section in Canix, but these UI overview, this is relevant to all pages. So the first thing to note in here is that Canix, there's a lot of data in here, and you have the ability to make it simpler if that's what you'd like to see. So for all of our columns, you can customize to take them out or put them back in, depending on what's relevant for you. So if you don't track mother plant batches and that's not relevant, you can just get rid of this field entirely. And you're also able to save different views, either for yourself or your entire company. So you're able to, for example, if you want to do a view that's just your active and mature plant batches, you'd be able to save that in here. Favorites. You can favorite a page here. It will go into the favorites bar here. So if there's certain pages that you tend to use more in Canix, you can find this here and just go directly to this page. And everything in Canix is downloadable to a CSV. So you can download all information that you have at any point in time. Pressing Command K, you're able to navigate anywhere in the product. So if you're like sales orders, I want to see my sales orders, you can go to view sales orders in here and you just type in what you're looking for. It's a pretty nifty feature that a lot of our customers really enjoy. Okay, so moving on to the actions that you take in Canix. So again, we're starting on the plant batches screen right now. And this is where you'd start if you're a cultivator or a nursery. Here we have the actions that you can take in Canix, and there's quite a few. The big thing to note about this is that all of our actions in Canix have shortcuts built into them, and all of them you can do in bulk. So let's just take a quick example. Okay, what just happened here? You probably saw the screen be red for a second and then flash, and now it's gray. What's happening here in the background is we are automatically matching your plant batch strain to your package item directly and saving that match for future packaging. So you don't need to go through and map all of your plant batches to your package items repeatedly. It saves a ton of time. We're also pre-filling the count of each of our packages in here. We found that most customers tend to package the entire plant batch. So we pre-fill it automatically with the amount of plants you have in your plant batch. If you want to, you can always change this. We do everything in bulk, so you'll have the ability to apply this to all items. If this is an all item thing, you can say yes or no here. Okay, moving on to plants. The UI is the exact same as plant batches. You have the ability to customize the screen that you see here according to what is relevant for you and your facility. You have the ability to save different views. Oh, and one thing I should mention here on the UI as well that I forgot to mention on plant batches is every single field in Canix where you take a tag number, you're able to scan. So you're able to connect a Bluetooth scanner to your computer, just connect it as you would a pair of Bluetooth headphones, and just scan anything that you might need to be scanned that's tag based. This saves a ton of time. We have more videos on scanning into sales orders where you can see how this is implemented and how customers have saved just tons and tons of time using the scanning feature. And so that is uniformly across anywhere that you have a tag entry, you will be able to Bluetooth scan. Great. One thing I'm going to mention here, we can go through there's quite a few actions in here. For the sake of time, we won't go through everything here, but I do want to mention one thing here, which is lot ID. So lot ID is a really important concept in Canix. What lot ID is the ability to assign a unique identifier to a group of objects. It actually starts with plant batches. We just skipped over it, but it also continues on to plants. And we can say actions, assign lot ID to plants, and we can choose a lot ID that we want to make in here, and we can say room A. Okay. Submit. What did we just do here? And why is this relevant? What the lot ID does is Canix will take this lot ID and will put it in all objects that follow this plant as it turns into a harvest, as it turns into post-harvest material, as it turns into a finished good. We'll take that lot ID, will follow it through all those transitions. So if you're a vertically integrated operator, like if you're a micro business and you want to track costs at every stage in your process, from plant batch to plants, to harvest, to post-processing, to finished goods, to distribution, the lot ID is the easiest way to do this. We have lots of traceability reporting that goes off of this lot ID so you can trace the costs up and down the supply chain. So that's how lot ID works there. And we can just see our harvest action really quick. We have the ability to add in your total harvest weight, apply your individual weights really automatically. You don't have to do any manual individual entry for any plant in Canix. Okay, let's move on to packages or our post-harvest process. Now, if you're a manufacturer or distributor, you can come back to this section now. This is now applicable to you. So this is where Canix tracks all material that's been already, post-harvesting, has been packaged from its wet weight into some kind of bulk all the way through finished good. We have different packages statuses in here. These, again, really a lot of actions that you can take on packages in here. And you'll also notice that some of these are grayed out. We do a lot of error permissioning in here to make sure that you don't try to do anything that's not legal for the compliance system in here. Let's actually move to a different facility. Awesome. Okay, so package status, I'll just go through a couple of these functionalities and how they work. Package status is a Canix only action. And what does this do? This allows you to set different permission groups on each of your packages. You might want to designate like certain packages are in progress, so no one should be putting them on a sales order. Or certain packages are available to sell and nobody should be touching them. Or certain packages are in quarantine and there can be no touching them until they pass a certain remediation phase. So Canix allows you to create custom statuses with different permissions and assign them to different packages so you can better organize your inventory availability. You can see here availability statuses that we have. We've got quarantine, sell ASAP, ready for fulfillment. Again, these are able to be defined by you. If you've got any questions, the Canix implementation team would be happy to help you with some suggestions of how to organize your inventory, but these tend to be very helpful for customers. This is one of our most popular features so that you're able to organize your inventory and also set the correct permissions on your inventory. Again, there's a lot of actions in here that you can take on the packages. You can see that you have the ability to assign lot IDs. So if you're starting as a manufacturer or distributor, this is where you assign your lot ID that's going to follow your package all the way through to the end of the finished good. Let's just do split packages right now. Once again, every single action in Canix is designed for bulk actions and shortcuts. So one of our most popular features in here is this very simple looking field that says number of packages, where you can enter in whatever number of packages you are creating. You can say update in here. And you can see I just created 100 packages of one each per package in about a second. Why is this relevant? Well, in a lot of compliance systems, you would have to press a little plus button literally 100 times in order to do this. We just don't think that's a good way to operate. So try to make things really, really quick here, give you as much shortcuts embedded throughout the product as possible. Great. And we'll go on to sales orders. So you can see how we offer this. So Canix, you create sales orders and you can start from different points in time. Once again, you can scan onto your sales orders here. So you can scan directly for the packages that you have in here. Or you can start with adding items if you don't know what packages you're going to sell yet, so you can create a pre-order. And all of that will be taken out of your inventory availability so that you're not overselling. And that saved a lot of our customers a lot of money because they're able to keep better track of what's already been sold. Sales order, you can see the customer details on here, delivery date, license number. We have price lists to load different prices from different customers. Scan to fulfill. So this would allow you, if I had a Bluetooth scanner attached, just scan all the packages that you need to put on the sales order onto the sales order. We have the ability to send the sales order to QuickBooks or to Sage Intact or to QuickBooks Enterprise, depending on what accounting system you're using. There's also a lot of options to configure different invoices according to what's relevant for you. So a lot of ways to organize this invoice. You can customize it according to what you prefer to show to your customers. And then transfers. This is a really big shortcut for us. You're able to automatically create transfers in one click from a sales order. We have a Google Maps integration that will take the route automatically and fill this out here. We'll put in all the transformation on here, the packages that are on the sales orders. You could even send this to OnFleet if you're using OnFleet. So once again, we're trying to make everything connect so that it's very easy for you to utilize our platform. Along with sales, we also have the ability to add purchase orders. Purchase orders, you can create different either requests for purchase, or you can create different costing for different items on here when you receive the purchase order, and that'll assign the costs automatically to the inventory that you're accepting. LeafLink, this is where you can see our LeafLink integration, which will automatically import your orders from LeafLink into Canix. Great. We've got a very extensive manufacturing and production planning section. We have a separate video on that. So in this video today, I'm going to skip over that for the sake of time. It's quite extensive, so that deserves its own video, as well as task management. Once again, you can find that in a separate video. Go through two more things in this video. Reporting. So Canix has very, very extensive reporting. We base all of our reporting off of ThoughtSpot, which is an AI-based reporting, back-end reporting tool. And what you need to know about reporting in Canix is we have literally hundreds of pre-built reports in here that you can use to kind of get the metrics that you need. Our most popular report is our sales order overview, which will show you your sales over time. So you can see your total sales, the subtotal of these sales by week, the price per pound as it fluctuates. And you can see your total sales over time broken down into weekly increments too. All of our reporting has this same level of flexibility where you can change your delivery date to any time increment that you want. You're also able to add any of these filters here. So if you only want to see item sales by a certain brand, you can just filter down to a certain brand in here, or by a certain item type, name, what have you. In this report alone, we break it down into sales by item type over time, sales by item name over time, sales by city over time. Yours obviously won't look like this because this is our demo account. Sales by channel, by brand, by sales rep, by source facility. And this is applicable not just for sales, but also for inventory. So you can see the inventory overviews by brand, by item, by subtype, by item type. We're able to release incredibly quickly on this reporting tool. So if there is something that you're not seeing or that's not optimized, the Canix team will work with you on getting that report to be at a level where you can just, our goal is that you just schedule it to send to yourself, and then you don't need to do any manipulation whatsoever. It's exactly what you need in your inbox every day, or however often you need it. We also have this AI report generation feature that we're pretty excited about. So you can say here something like, show me all of my sales week by week over the past 6 months. And it'll take a graph and generate the total sales biweekly delivery date. And you can say things like in a bar graph, if you want to edit this screen and change the visualization here. So you can see it just changed to a bar graph as well. There's a lot of different things that you can do here. So you can see a lot of different data objects that you're able to create with this AI report generation. If there's something that you're just looking to see at a glance, we like to think of this as having like a data analyst on all of your Canix data at your fingertips. Forecasting and planning, like I mentioned, that'll be included in the manufacturing video. And the last thing is tags and labels. Okay, so in cannabis, tags and labels are really important. Every state compliance system is based off of tags and labels. That's how they track each individual unit piece of inventory. And our goal in Canix is that you should never, ever need to create an individual label ever. So we can grab an example here. Okay, so what just happened? I just said I want to use this Avery label template. I selected a package that I want to print out. And once I selected that package, all this information came pre-filled on this. So all of our labels are dynamically generated. That means that we take all of this information that we have in our system here and we put it on this label with the information that we have. Like you should never be filling out the quantity on a label. It just adds so much room for error and is very tedious, frankly. So we do this so that you're able to create all labels automatically with just by putting in the label number. We have literally hundreds of fields in here. All of the fields that we pull from Confident Cannabis and from Metric for test results are included in here. So there's hundreds of terpenes alone included in here where you can pull the automatic terpene percentage and add them in here. Most packages will not have this, but in case that is necessary for you, you're able to do that. And then in number of tags here, I just put in 100. So you're able to say download 100 labels. And what the system will do is it'll find the next 100 labels. It'll automatically fill them out with the information on each of those tags. So then your labels are automatically generated here. Again, you should be able to print out 100 labels in less than 30 seconds with no manual entry whatsoever. Everything is customizable here. You can make it bigger. You can make it smaller. You can drag. You can drop. If you want to change the label width, you can do that as well. You can move things around. And again, you can add and take out different fields on here. If for some reason there's something that we don't have in the system, we do have the ability to add custom text onto your label, as well as custom pictures. So you can add a custom image or a company logo, what have you, on here. Okay, so that's Canix at a very high level. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, our support team is incredibly responsive, and you can always feel free to give us a call at 415-894-9884 or email us at help@canix.com. Okay, thanks.